What's up, guys? Matthew here, getting ready to watch the fourth episode of the second season of Mr. Robot. The first three episodes have been so spectacular and confusing and spectacular, and that is why I love this show. I feel like I got to talk in fucking poetry or some weird riddle. I don't know. I love the show. Last episode was very fantastic. I am absolutely loving not only just all these sort of new characters in the season. Ray, I love how I don't know anything fucking about him and I don't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. I love Dom so far. Feels so capable. And I don't know if I've said it in my Mr. Robot reactions, but capability is one of my favorite quality traits in a character. At the same time, though, as much as I love her, it's my Mr. Robot, ideology. I don't know if I can trust anyone that's shown on screen, so I'm not going to go full out and say I really, really like her. But then also, I love the added screen time for Price so far. He has been incredible. Angela and him have been the highlight of my season so far. Everything's been incredible. Rami Malek, obviously. Slater. I'm so excited to get into this episode. And I'm ready to hop into it. If you guys like the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. I've got the full-length reaction up on Patreon. And if you enjoy the content that I make on the channel, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. Let's get into it. I love this show so much. That might have been my favorite episode of the season. I think each episode is getting better and better and better. I've only seen 14 episodes of the show. You know what I mean? 2 whole seasons to be introduced to, but I kind of get the vibe that the format of the show sort of resets every season, and you start off just like season 1, where you don't know what the fuck's going on, and obviously as the season progresses, you learn more and get more comfortable, and then some of the big, heavy-hitting shit really happens at the end. And I really like that. Again, I don't know if it's going to continue for seasons 3 and 4, but I feel like it's the same sort of format so far with 1 and 2. And I want to repeat, I really enjoy it. The characters in this show are just so goddamn good. I am sorry guys. The Angela stuff, I will repeat, is probably my highlight of what the fuck I see every time I turn on this show. It's just I don't even know how to explain it. I think Angela has firmly supplanted herself as my favorite character. Sorry guys. I'm really sorry that I'm coughing so much, but I really want to watch the episodes, even though I don't feel 100%. I feel like Angela has supplanted herself as my number 1. Obviously, the fact that Tyrell is just not fucking here does help himself fall. And then also Joanna, I don't know, she's been cool. Not like she's fallen or anything like that. She just hasn't risen. And Angela's been a slow and steady riser for me. Anytime she's on screen, I'm fucking in love. Like, I'm in love with her. I definitely feel like, I liked that wording from Angela right at the end of that little conversation with Price, saying, "I'm not wrong." I don't think that she is wrong. I just think that it's as simple as playing your cards a little too early. Maybe Price expected more demands out of her, and is sort of let down by that to see if she can rebound. Or, like I said, I think I said, or I was thinking it at least, maybe he's just playing hardball. Maybe he didn't realize, or maybe he even slightly underestimated her and didn't expect her to throw that punch out so fast, and is trying to downplay her decisions, her the way that she views it, seeing herself as having more power in the situation. He probably wants to downplay that. The White Rose, I'm so intrigued with, because I want to repeat. Obviously, their ideology is not 100% lined up with Elliot. Because if it was, there would be a more cleaner partnership. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they cannot be 100% aligned with Price because they wouldn't have allowed this shit to happen in the first place. So the simple solution is that they have their own motive that I obviously don't see, and nobody else even expects them to have, I would assume. I don't know what it would be. I don't know if it's just Elliot's ideology on crack and maybe views Elliot as lesser and not ready to handle what they're trying to do. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm very intrigued by it. I must say. The thing that I keep going back on is just like this situation with Elliot is just so weird. Like, where is it? Where is he staying? Where is he in some sort of institution, some sort of imprisonment, or something like that? That's the thing that I'm most confused about. Not because I think it's the most important, because I think it's like, I don't even know how to describe. Like, it's not like the tallest thing, but it's the widest thing. It sort of interacts with everything near Elliot, that it just sort of keeps popping into my head. But I think maybe I went slightly overboard with my theories for Ray, maybe a little bit. I don't think he's any agency, but I just think that he's sort of ahead of an untrustworthy underground market. I don't know, the way that he was kind of talking made me get a little scared that it might be like child porn or something real bad like that, body market. But I know that last episode they were talking about Bitcoin or something like that, or some sort of currency when they beat up that guy, or when Lone Star did. So I don't know, maybe it's just some sort of illegal money ciphering business. I don't really know the fucking correct terms and vocabulary I should be using. But I don't know. I still don't. I really don't trust him, and he's kind of. I don't know. He has. I was gonna say a cult of personality, but I feel like every single fucking character in this show has a cult of personality. So I will tell you what, though. I did not get enough Dom for my liking. She has very quickly asserted herself into a top 5-ish ranking for me. So just simply, I did not get enough of her this episode, and I want more. I could really. Sorry. I don't really want to focus on it that much because it's not like super important for me. In terms of like it being the only thing I focus on, but I do want to give this show props. Something I didn't expect. Not that I didn't. I don't know. Again, I went to Mr. Robot very blind. I didn't really expect that much. I had heard that it was good, but I didn't hear any specifics. You know what I mean? For some reason, I just didn't have the vibe that it would have a lot of strong female characters. I don't know. Again, I only knew of Rami Malek being in the show, so I just thought it would be just Rami Malek by himself. But the female characters in the show are my fucking highlights every time I tune in. Angela and Dom, and I really enjoy Darlene. So I do want to give the show some major props in those regards. I feel like a lot of the shows on Mr. Robot's level sometimes not skip past, but just don't really give an unrealistically low focus on spectacular female characters that they could have easily written into the show. So to simplify it, I want to give them props. And then also, obviously, Joanna, who got a little bit of focus this episode, and who was maybe my favorite character of the first season. I don't know. There's so many people that I love in this show. It's so funny. Like, I don't even know. Like, how do you classify Slater's character? Like, how do you? Because he's just a hallucination. He's just Elliot. He's just an extension of Elliot. So you can't really call him just straight up Mr. Robot, because Mr. Robot is Elliot. But he's obviously fantastic. The acting is amazing. This episode really stepped up. Like, an already great aspect of the show was the music. This episode really stood out for me. Like, it hit really fucking hard. Um, really hard. There's just so much stuff I'm so confused about. Leon, I'm confused about. I don't know what's in his head, and I like this. I mean, I know that you guys had to experience this in your watch, and I know that you guys are laughing and having fun and eating popcorn while I'm suffering through this. Not suffering. I want to repeat. I have so much fun not knowing, and trying to decipher what I'm seeing. Try to go breadcrumb to breadcrumb, trying to figure out any semblance of factual information. I really, it's one of those things too. A normal show like this. I did talk about at the beginning of the discussion how I thought that maybe the show had a format for each season, not as in a repetitive way, as in shows have structures. There's nothing wrong with that. But something that I really like, I like the fact that there is still stuff from last season that I don't know. Like, it didn't hit a complete reset, answer everything from last season, and then just completely move on. There's stuff that I'm still not sure of, stuff that I'm still very confused upon, especially obviously regarding the 3-day gap in Elliot's mind. But even just some of the interactions of last season, there's a lot of missing stuff. And I really like that. It's always keeping me on my toes. It's always sort of keeping me in a perpetual state of confusion. And I really, really, really like that. And then obviously just from sort of a creativity aspect, cinematography-wise, music-wise, editing, sound, whatever the fuck you want to... this show is 10 out of 10. This really is one of my favorite shows I'm watching right now. I talk about the dialogue so much. Every single word that anyone says, I'm hooked. I'm hanging on the edge of my seat for. And again, even these new characters like Ray, whom I don't know, and I'm very sort of scared, and you know what I mean. I don't trust. Very paranoid. Even someone like him, every single word, every time he opens his mouth, I am hooked. I'm so intrigued. So I don't know. I just don't know. Again, I don't want to be a broken record, but this episode, Angela Price were my highlight. But I really loved Elliot. I love this show. I love this show so much. And I do, a part of me, I don't want to have bad discussions about the show because I'm praising it and worshiping it so much. But at a certain point, all these discussions, and it happens every single episode, I decide to just stop myself from talking because I know that I'm not getting anywhere. Not that I'm angry or not that I really, really, really expected myself to get somewhere, but I feel like there's always a cutoff point that I need to go, okay, you're not coming up with anything groundbreaking. Let's see what else you can do next episode. So I liked the Krista scene, and I'm still wondering where Ollie is. And obviously Tyrell. I mean, Tyrell, I just can't think about Tyrell. I just can't think. I don't know who's who. I don't know who's evil. I don't know who's bad. I don't know who's hunting us. If it's Ray, if Tyrell is the one. So yeah, I think that Tyrell is on our side, maybe, but also maybe hunting down some of the weaker members of F Society because he doesn't trust them to keep a secret, or something along those lines. I could definitely see something like that happening. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff at play. I'm probably most intrigued about the White Rose. Very intrigued. Oh my god, I love this show. That's gonna be it for me. I don't want to fangirl for another 10 minutes. So if you guys liked the video, drop a like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I have got the full-length reactions up on Patreon. I am multiple weeks ahead. If you're interested, please check out the YouTube comments to see the exact episode I say I'm on. And if you like the content that I make on the channel, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll see you guys.